Goldust, I don't want your belt. I want your ass.
Well, we said it was wrong. What?
Razor, he loved the little kids. I love the kids. And Goldust, everybody knows that you want me, and that makes you hot. I want Goldust anywhere, anytime.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Raw review. This one is from March 4th, 1996. Our first match of the show is the 1-2-3 Kid versus Shawn Michaels. And it looks like they've been at this building since after In Your House. I don't understand why they wouldn't have these guys rest for the 4 weeks or so while these episodes are on the air. Instead, they're touring, beating up their bodies, and just basically, we could have had Shawn for like 10 more years, basically, is what I'm saying. Instead of him going out touring and doing house shows and live events during the time where they didn't need to because these shows were already recorded ahead of time. So, anyways, Shawn sucker punches the Kid while he makes his entrance. Kid with a nice combination, but Shawn hits some arm drags. And then the only person he could probably do this to, he press slams the Kid and takes him out of the ring. He also gives the Kid a scoop slam. Brett was watching from the back during this match too. Then the Kid with another spinning kick and then a drop kick to send Shawn to the outside. He then springboards from the corner to the outside. With the referee distracted, Ted DiBiase starts beating up Shawn. Brett says that he's Shawn's friend and doesn't like what Ted is doing because he doesn't want anything bad to happen to him before WrestleMania so that he's at 100%. And Lawler says that Brett is lying straight through his teeth. So I wonder if the tension between these two had already begun or if it started after when Shawn didn't want to lose to him at next year's WrestleMania. Right now, it looks like they're both on the same page. Shawn does a spot where he is going to hit a reversal from the ropes, but the Kid sees it coming, but Shawn stops and climbs to the top and hits a moonsault. Then he hits the flying elbow, goes for the super kick, but the Kid runs to the outside. He takes advantage when they both come back in. One too many risks though, as the Kid misses a leg drop from the top, allows Shawn to tune up and hits the sweet chin music. I don't know if it's just me complaining, but this is the type of match they can give us on Raw. I don't see why they have to make everything slow and boring and have everything end with interference. This was a fast-paced match, but it still went around 10 minutes. Sure, there was interference from Ted, but it didn't lead to the finish. So Shawn keeps momentum, and we will see Brett in a match later with Helmsley. Next, we have a Marlena production with Goldust on the set of Piper's Pit. Goldust continues to make some sexual innuendos towards Piper and is saying that he would admire Roddy back in the day. He pulls out the bagpipes and starts blowing into them like if he was doing something else. This is completely crazy. I knew they went this way with the Goldust character, but I don't remember them going this far. It's literally a homosexual stereotype, making all the males uncomfortable. I thought it was all through innuendos, but he's literally out there moaning and rubbing himself, lusting over guys. First with Razor and now with Roddy Piper. By the way, what happened with Razor Ramon and Goldust? Wasn't that the program that was going into WrestleMania? But now it's Roddy Piper with him. In our next match, Roddy Piper calls into commentary. The match they did for this one was Hakushi versus Justin Huck Bradshaw, who's making his Raw debut. They show the Raw band again, and they call it Doc Hendricks and the Raw band, as if Doc is doing anything. Doc is just dancing and pretending to conduct a rock band. Why is there a need to have Doc Hendricks on TV? And where has the mayor of merchandise gone? The match went longer after the phone call was over. Looks like Bradshaw missed a spot where he was supposed to catch Hakushi because he no-sells a crossbody dive, picks Hakushi up, and then slams him onto the apron. Bradshaw nails the clothesline and gets the win. He is now also in contention for the Triple H Dominance Award. Bradshaw ties up Hakushi after the match, and Sebakaya, his manager, brands his arm with JB. As if he needs more letters on his body, Lawler says, and I agree with him. Next, we see another vignette with Mankind. Crazy promo again from him as he's just in the dungeon rocking back and forth. Then we have Hunter Hearst Helmsley versus Bret Hart. Helmsley comes out with a hottie. I wonder if she aged better than a lot of the women from this time. Someone sent me her at, asking for a friend. Emerald Hart is the name they gave her, but who knows if that's her real name. Jerry says that it's Bret's sister, so we gotta hear him go on about this nonsense during this match. We see some footage of a girl crying after Bret had given her his sunglasses at ringside. Wholesome moment there. And I think that was like one of the iconic moments when Bret would do that with his sunglasses. Helmsley's undefeated streak on Raw is also on the line here. Doesn't look good for him since he's taking on the WWF champion. Sean also makes his way down to sit ringside and watch the match. Odds that he also steals Hunter's valet after the match. I think pretty high. Hunter tosses Brett to the outside, and then when he tries to get back in, Brett eyes Sean and asks why he's there. Helmsley goes for a move off the apron, but HBK points it out and Brett is able to counter. I don't know if this ever happened, but it would be cool to see Brett and Sean team up at least once. I'd like to see that team. I know they hated each other, but still. Hunter then sends Brett into the turnbuckle a couple times to take control. After commercial, we cue the comeback for Brett, hits a running bulldog and a backbreaker, followed up by his patented elbow drop for a close fall. Helmsley attempts a dropkick, I guess. I couldn't tell what he was going for, but Brett counters it into the sharpshooter and gets the submission win. So that ends Helmsley's Raw winning streak at 7 since his debut back around May-ish, June-ish, I want to say, of last year. Ahmed Johnson now takes the top spot at 5-0. Still a long way to go for the year, so maybe the winner of the award hasn't even made their debut yet. So I like this, that Brett and Sean both being featured in exhibition matches a month out before Mania. Now the only thing left to see is if they can keep interest. Being that they're both faces, the first time since WrestleMania 6 that the main event will be face versus face. It doesn't look like there's going to be a turn for this feud, and crowd is not really leaning one way or another. Both guys get mostly cheers when they come out, even when they're both out there at the same time. So this episode will get a good grade. While the last couple of shows were missing a good match to maybe get them to a great rating, this show was missing a good segment or promo. Kind of making me look like a hypocrite, but as a wise poet once said, I am what I am, what I'm not, see, I'll never be. One quick thing I did forget to cover was that they had another Billionaire Ted sketch. This one, again, was mostly to portray Ted as a terrible person, and because I could care less about one billionaire calling out another billionaire, this sketch isn't as funny to me as when they parodied the wrestlers, even though those guys are millionaires too. But yeah, the highlight of the show was the wrestling. It does help that guys like Mabel, Diesel, Undertaker, Yokozuna aren't out there having matches, but once a show, I don't see they have a rotation of guys that can do matches when Brett or Sean aren't there. So even if it is a show full of slow big man matches, you can still have that one match that the crowd gets hyped for. But anyways, that does it for the review. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, or HBK is going to steal your girl. By the way, he didn't steal Hunter's girl after all. And do you know why? Because he subscribed.